wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz. Wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
Welcome back to Tahuna Park. We've just watched a great junior Colts final. I've got Lee Piper standing alongside me. That first game, 32-29, was a pretty good. That was a very good game, Lee.
Yeah, it was an excellent game of junior Colts footy, and just what you would expect. Those two teams have been pretty close in that competition. I think it was 41-40 in the last round robin game to finish off the season. So not surprised to see them going well in the final. But really great defence from Harbour at the end. But you know, it ebbed and flowed, didn't it? Harbour got off to a couple of early tries, and then back came the Sharks, and then Sharks sneaked the front, and then Harbour came back. So, yeah, expecting this game to be close as well. So, finals so far in this comp, Paul, have been outstanding.
Yeah, they certainly have, Lee, and Dunedin have, with that win, they've got their hands on the Ainge Trophy. They'll be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, well, they won't be sharing it this year, so they'll be happy about that. But I suspect they'll be disappointed, and the gloss would come off if they didn't win this game after being so dominant in this competition.
And we're underway. Darcy Porter from Dunedin puts the ball down into the 22, and immediately one of the Harbour boys, one of the Kaikorai boys has put that down. It was a knock on, but looks like the referee says we'll go to the line out.
Yeah, it's going to be key for both these sides to settle down for Kaikorai if they want to get into the game and really put the pressure on Dunedin. I think they've got to try and score points, a little bit like Varsity did in that semi-final last week, and just try to put a Sharks side that hasn't been under a lot of pressure under pressure this year.
So it's Michael Flanagan with the resplendent in the headgear. His line-out throwing could be interesting at times. Be interesting to see how he goes today. See if he can hit some of his big men in the middle of that line-out. And he's done well to start. Quinton Holland goes high, drags it down for Dunedin. And they get the ball and they smack it up in the midfield through Lewis Lepionka. And it's Tasi Courts there, dragging it forward for Dunedin another couple of yards. They hit the big number 5 and Lachlan Stevens. The referee says there's a wee knock on in there, and it will be scrum to Kaikorai.
Yeah, it'll be a good confidence booster for Flanagan, whose line-out throwing last week was a wee bit off, but good for them to go to 2. But good defence again from Kaikorai. They had a good line there. Early mistakes, early nerves from both teams.
And it'll be Kaikorai to feed the scrum with the. He's a very small man, the wee halfback for Kaikorai, Benjamin Bark. In this case, his bark will be worse than his bite, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's the 8.
Probably had that a bit.
I think you're looking at Jacob Field.
Sorry, I'm actually looking at Jacob Field. Like, sorry.
Bark could come screaming off the back, roaring.
He is a very wee man, Jacob Field. Good scrum though. It gets the ball back, and they're looking to clear their line. It's not going to go. It's not going to find touch. Down to Benjamin Paku, ex-Kings boy, puts the ball high in the air, and then chases up after his kick. Well taken by the 15 and Jack Hazlitt. And the wee kick over the top from Field, and that's out on the full, and the line out will go to Dunedin, 2 or 3 metres outside the 22.
Yeah, perfect conditions here today, Paul, on a breath of wind. And obviously having the FIFA Women's World Cup here has done marvellous in terms of the condition of the pitch.
Well, I've just
had to be a dog here.
I've just had a look in the change room.
Unbelievable.
I think the Dunedin Sharks could move here.
Yeah, I think that's a great possibility. Let's discuss it as this game goes on.
Anyway, so Flanagan to throw to this line out for Dunedin. And again, he's found his man. He's found big Quinton Holland again, and they got the drive going. Tasi Courts comes off the back. Ball down on the 22. Henry Scott in there looking for it. He's found number 4 and Quinton Holland, who gets dragged back. Great defence from Kaikorai. Looking for a ball runner, and they found the big number 8 and Lepionka, who's played pretty well for the Sharks all year. And number 1, Tasman Soane Uiti for Dunedin takes it forward. Nice run from him. Referee says penalty. Not releasing on the ground. And this will be a relieving penalty to Kaikorai on their own 22.
Yeah, just not getting enough ball carriers there on both those runs from the 8 and also from Holland, and then they just got isolated out. But as I say, confidence boosting for that Dunedin line-out. Good to have Holland in at 4. Hasn't played a lot for the Sharks this year.
And that's a nice kick from the number 10, Caleb Hill, and it'll be Kaikorai to throw to this line out, and it'll be Ben Hellriegel. They go to the back, taken down well. They're out in the back line now. They fire it out into midfield, and it's the big number 8, and Benjamin Bark going to ground. Comes back on the Kaikorai side. They go wide again. They got numbers out wide, but they again wrapped up in the midfield. They come just outside inside their own half as they charge it forward through the number 6 and David Martin. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side, and they're looking for numbers. That's a big hit, massive hit from Owiti. Slammed it into the wee first 5, and then they put a kick downfield, and that's found touch. And it's been, the boys are yelling it's been touched. What's the referee say? No,
might have been talked into that.
They might have been talked. Kaikorai, so Kaikorai ball with Ben Hellriegel to throw to this line out.
Yeah, but good early exchanges from both teams. Good defence, big hits coming in. Nerves starting to calm down now. So great crowd in here today, Paul.
Yeah, there's not good numbers all around the ground. Well taken down. They found the first 5. They hit up in the midfield again. They go wide this time, but 12 gets hit strongly in the midfield. Cruz Wallace. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Again, they go wide, but that ball's gone directly into touch from a errant pass from the first 5 in Caleb Hill.
Yeah, they're creating good space out wide. They're just not quite shifting it quick enough to get there, but they are creating space. So it'll be interesting to see, and they're using Rutledge well in those line-outs. So both teams will be happy with the start thus far.
So Dunedin to throw to this line-out. It'll be Michael Flanagan. Looking for his 2 tall men in Stevens and Holland. And he goes to Lachlan Stevens, who takes it down well. Flanagan in the back of that train, with the halfback now, and Scott puts a wee kick over the top down towards the 22. Just going to come out outside the 22, and then he's knocked that on. Referee says no. He says no. It looks like Dunedin may have won that ball anyway. Ball's coming back on the Dunedin side. Good work there. Big number, Owet. He didn't know where he was going there, then goes to ground, loses a couple of metres. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Referee says penalty. Very bit untidy there from the big prop.
Yeah, I think they got themselves a bit confused. Yeah, he definitely looked like he lost the ball before referee. They got it back anyway, and then he just got isolated. But if he, again, similar to Kaikorai, if he managed to ping that out the back, they actually had numbers out wide, Dunedin, they just couldn't shift it.
And it's the wee first five who kicks it down, Caleb Hill, and he's found touch just inside their own half. I see, looks like one of Tane Randall's sons could be playing in this game for Kaikorai, Tory Randall.
Yeah, well, Lanson, I think, his other son plays for varsity, and he played his club rugby for Dunedin and varsity, so... Yep.
So it makes sense he goes to Kaikorai.
Exactly.
And yes, a big run from their number 8 in Benjamin Bart, but he got dragged down. And again, the wee first five now takes it away. It makes a couple of metres, goes to ground, ball in the midfield. They're finding one of the big props in the form of Henry Cleaver, but it's a bit knock on there. Referee, it'll be a scrum to Dunedin. Both sides showing some early handling errors.
Yeah, it's a nervous kind of start, isn't it? And no real excuses, we've said. Fantastic conditions here. Really not a breath of wind. There was a little bit in that early game, but none now.
It's just that wind's died away completely. And it's very still here. It's a beautiful day. It will be till that sun goes down behind the... and then it'll get a bit cold here, I'd imagine, Lee.
Yeah. Let's see what Dunedin have got in the backs. They've got a bit of experience in there. Parkinson at 12, or at 13. Josh Dent, who played a lot of Premier football. Ben Parker, who's kind of had an on and off year with injuries out wide, so let's see what they've got in the back.
Scott to feed the scrum. He's got it. He's found a runner in the form of Josh Dent, boy out of South Otago High School. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Carried up by Lachlan Stevens, the big lock. Scott in there looking for it. He's found number 1 in Oweti, who goes to ground. Scott in there looking for it again. He's found his first 5. And he's found Ben Parku, the very incisive running fullback for Dunedin. And here's the long-term captain for the Sharks in Seb McDonald. They go out to the midfield again. Lachlan Stevens drags it towards the 22, goes to ground. Ball coming back on the Dunedin side. Scott looking for a runner, just threw it away. And this could be an absolute turnover. The number 9's got it now in field. And they drag it up to over halfway line. They'll be looking to get this wide if they can, but no, they put a wee kick over the top. There's nobody back there for Dunedin, and this number 14's going to catch it. He could go all the way and score here, but the big number 11's got across and made the tackle. But it looks like it could have been a knock on there. No, ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. They'll be looking for runners on the blind. They hit the blind. They're going close to the line. They're over the line, but what's the referee say? Held up. Come back for the penalty, offside Dunedin.
Yeah, well, they've dodged a bullet there, Dunedin. There's no need for that pass from Scott. They just got confused, put it into space, and it was easy pickings. And then Willis did well to come back and pick up Mitchell on that right wing. So, yeah, bullet dodged, but a great opportunity for Kaik just 5 metres out and their line-out throw.
And they're going to the line-out, and it'll be Hal Regal to throw to this line-out. And they'll be looking for a line-out drive, I would imagine, from here. But referee says we've got a injury break.
Darcy Porter down.
And looks like Darcy Porter down for Dunedin, but he's now back on his feet. Looking a bit tender around the ribs.
Yeah, great defence here from Jonty Willis coming back for Dunedin. He had to cover about 3 players. And then Mitchell did well, the right winger, because he knew he was running out of support, so he tried to find players to link up with, and they just didn't quite get to him quick enough. Kaikorai disappointed that they didn't make more of that, but they've got a great opportunity now.
Yes, they go to the line out. We're probably 10 minutes into the first half now, and this is probably the first real scoring opportunity for either side. And they've gone to a short line out. They go to the middle. They find their jumper in number 4, Casey Brown. And then they get the drive going. Can they get over the line here? They're inching forward towards that line. Dunedin trying to hold them up. They've twisted it round to the blind side. They go at the line again, half back in there looking for it, looking for runners. They're held up, probably a couple of metres out, looking for a runner. Can he get over and score? And I think he may have been held up. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Then they go wide to the winger. Can he get over? And he gets bundled into touch by Flanagan over the top.
Yeah, great defence from Henry Scott, and and Michael Flanagan on that side. Good defence from Dunedin.
And they've gone to, so Dunedin will go to the line-out. They'll be looking to try and clear this if they can. Remember, this game brought to you by Liquorland and Jeeves Scaffolding for this fine structure which we're standing on.
Yeah, good structure today, Paul. A lot more room on this. Doesn't feel as unsafe as some of the ones. So good stuff from Mika Vatupu and the lads at Jeeves.
And Dunedin to throw to this line-out. And it's come down pretty untidy though for Scott. The ball's tapped back, but they've done well to put it. They've get it to the back of that maul, and they get a couple of runners now to drag it out from their own goal line. Dunedin. Ball comes back slowly. Scott on there looking for it. He could put the kick. Can they put the kick? No, he's put it back to his first five. Who hasn't found touch? That's bounced into the midfield from Darcy Porter. And here's the number 10 on the charge. Caleb Hill takes it up towards the 22. Goes to ground. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Number 1, Henry Cleaver, drags it over the 22. They go into the back line now. The wee fullback's in, but he gets absolutely hammered by Tarsi Courts.
Yeah, not the best decision, that.
And then the big number 5 taking it forward, and Tory Randall. Ball come back on the Kaikorai side, looking for runners. The hooker this time goes to ground in Ben Halregan. Ball comes back, they're looking for runners out wide. The 15's got it now in the form of Jack Haslett. But he goes to ground just inside the 10-metre line. They're in there looking for it, Kaikorai. We halfbacks burrowed in and grabbed it in field. And again they charge it forward through number 8, Benjamin Bark. Hit Cleaver, spot, nice wee offload from Cleaver in the midfield. They go to ground 15 metres out from the 22. Back in the hands of the number 12. They go wide this time. Out to the winger in Ryan White on that wing. He's dragged down by Seb McDonald right on the 22. Ball on the Kaikorai side. They're sniffing a try here, but they get dumped back that time, and Benjamin Mark going backwards there. Dunedin, good defence from them. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Halfback's looking for it, looking for runners now. They break up towards the 22, go to ground. Ball comes back again on the Kaikorai side. They hit Big Cleaver again on the charge, and then he's lost that ball in the tackle. Referee says we'll come back for the penalty.
Yeah, high tackle there. But again, kind of key moments early in the game, isn't it? Like real opportunities for Kaikorai here. They've had 2 or 3 goes at it. They've had 2 or 3 attacking penalties, and Dunedin have just kind of held them out. They'll be wanting to, as I said, when the game got underway. They're not favourites in this game. Dunedin have won everything and unbeaten for about 3 years. So to really put pressure on, you'd want to get points, try to get some momentum, get some belief in. So key moments for Kaikorai. They need to make the most of them.
Not a great kick there from Caleb Field. He only really made 4 or 5 metres in that kick. If they really wanted to put pressure on, they really needed to be down on that 5-metre mark for this line out, which Ben Halregal will throw to from Kaikorai. But they'll be looking for their jumpers. They'll probably go to 2 again. And they hit number 7. They hit Gregor Rutledge there.
Yeah, they've been going to him all day.
And they get the wee drive going, but Dunedin are holding them up. They might have to release this, but it's still this crabbing. Now they're starting to go forward. Referee's got his arm out for yet another penalty. And again they drive at the line. They're only a couple of metres away here, Kaikorai. Can they get themselves over the line for that early score? They put a wee kick across to the winger, across to 14 and Amaziah Mitchell, who gets taken to ground unceremoniously by Jonty Willis. Ball coming back on the Kaikorai side though. The wee halfback looking to run. Jacob Field goes to ground. They're only 6 or 7 metres out from the line. Now they're looking for their number 8, Benjamin Bark, to take it forward. Again, we've got big ball runners out wide. Dunedin defensively quite strong though. Will they go to the back line this time? They will. They get it wide to the number 14 coming in off his wing, Mitchell. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Again, they're looking for runners. And then there's another knock on there. Dunedin have come away with it. And we put the boot to the ball. It comes down towards the halfway. And it's the number 13 getting back, and Jonty Fleck. And he puts his boot to, but he has been charged down. Been picked up by the number 9, Henry Scott. And Henry Scott over for the try, 5-0 Dunedin.
Yeah, well, absolutely turn of play there, isn't it? Kaikorai should have made the most of that. They had a penalty advantage. They went too long. Referee said play on. Then when he just called advantage over, Dunedin made the break in the midfield, and then Henry Scott, man on there, you just clear the ball out, and that's heartbreak for Kaikorai. They had made all the playing in the last 5 minutes and just couldn't finish it off. And not only that, to add salt to it, Dunedin have scored.
They've scored, and that's a very handy kick. It's close to the post, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 7-0 early. You'd have to say, Lee, that was against the run of play, and especially that charge down there at the end.
Yeah, but it was built on the defence, wasn't it? As I said previously, Kaikorai had all the opportunities. They had 2 or 3 really good attacking lineouts that they couldn't make, and so Dunedin will be pleased with their defence. Sometimes in these games, Paul, it's better to not have the ball early on. You can kind of get a bit more physical in it. We saw that in the opening 5 minutes with Kaikorai's defence, but yeah, that is definitely against the run of play, but Dunedin will take it.
And Porter lines his kick up. He's only 10 or 15 metres out. Should be meat and drink to him. And he's drained it. 7-0. Dunedin lead Kaikorai in the early stages of this game, and we're probably 15 minutes gone first half.
Yeah, good crowd on the far side. A lot of the Harbour and Dunedin hammerheads
all stayed on, which is good to see.
Sun bathed in sunshine.
That's the place to watch it, especially in the second half, and with that sun, because that sun's about to lose the sun here behind the grandstand. We should have really gone to the. Oh no, it'll be but hard sun in your eyes, yeah, sun in your eyes. But hard for the cameraman to film into that sun. And as the wee first 5 gets it underway again, Caleb Hill puts it down towards the 22, and back in the hands of Porter, who finds a nice tut. That's a nice kick from Porter.
Yeah, that's a great exit, isn't it? That's what you want after you've scored points, is to not put yourself under pressure and clear from your own 22, and he's done that well.
So Hal Regal, this line that's right down in front of us, and it's Hal Regal for Kaikorai to throw to this line out. Will they be looking for
Rutledge
again?
Yeah.
And they've taken it down well. Out into the backs. Number 8 gets it wide. They're out here. They've got numbers out wide. 14 gets it wide to the fullback on the charge. He didn't look for his winger. Haslett that time. He should have given that. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side though. Dunedin scrambling to get back in defence. Tarsi Courts makes the tackle just outside his own 22. But in go the Kaikorai forwards looking for that. And Fields found it. They hit the big number 8 out wide, but he gets taken down outside the 22. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Said there was a wee knock on there. Dunedin ball from that scrum.
Yeah, they're creating good space. I said previously on the outside, and Noah Johnson for Dunedin slipped over, so they had the 2 on 1, and then coming across was Parkinson to try and make that tackle, but he should have given it to his winger on the outside. I think they would have done a bit better there, but again, scrambling for defence from Dunedin, just kind of getting out of it. But I think Kaikorai could make more on the outside edge. They're looking dangerous when they get it wide.
Okay, and it's young Henry Scott to feed the scrum just outside their 22. And that wind has completely died away, which is not normally the case out of the beach.
No, this is a very rare day.
That's a good scrum from Kaikorai, but Dunedin then hold it up. The referee says it's collapsed. We'll go again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the performance of Scott. He hasn't played much rugby. He got injured early on for Dunedin, and he only came back really in the last couple of weeks, but he was key for them early on. So John McGlashan boy. And
John McGlashan got absolutely thumped today, I hear, by Southland boys. The last score I heard with probably 20 minutes to go was 31-7 to the Southland boys team. Scott to feed the scrum. And that's another good scrum from Kaikorai. They've got the team on the back foot and they've turned that over. But Sam McDonald's come away. The ball popped out the side and Sam McDonald, the captain, came away for the Marcos. But their scrum's under a wee bit of pressure here. And then Flanagan puts it down. It lands in the hands of Mitchell, the 14. They go wide this time. They hit it out wide to the wee first 5's got it now. In fact, it's the second 5 in Cruz Wallace. Takes it up over the 10-metre line, goes to ground. Comes back on the Kaikorai side. It's Cleaver, puts a nice wee offload, but that's good defence, good strong defence from Dunedin. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Looking for runners. They found the big number 4, who's knocked it on. Casey Brown, that's a big tackle, and he puts that down.
Yeah, Dunedin seems to be quite comfortable to not have the ball, particularly in that close quarter stuff. As I said, I think if Kaikorai can shift it and try to make some play out wide, that's where they seem to have, or seem to be getting some gain, but they're just running into some of those big bodies from Dunedin who have already shown today that their D is up to it, so they're going to have to create a bit more than that. But a few early mistakes, and as you say, that good scrum, particularly from Cleaver, who's a good scrummager and a real player of the future for Kaikorai.
And again, it's Henry Scott to feed the scrum.
Well, interesting to see Rutledge at halfback here, swapped with Field, who's gone into the scrum.
Always supposed to put your smallest player in the scrum.
Yeah.
And Dunedin have got...
So, you can see there on camera shot that Gregor Rutledge was at 9 and Field had gone in, which seems interesting given that their scrum has been pretty dominant. You put one of your bigger guys on.
And he's going to put this in the airport up. Well, that's probably gone a wee bit far. It's going to land inside the 22, and that'll be an easy mark for number 15, Jack Hazlitt. I presume he's from Southland, being Jack Hazlitt.
Yeah, it sounds... wonder if he's the... Ooh.
Not a great kick, though, from Hazlitt.
A grandson of. Great Southern name, the Hazlitts, as is the Rutledges.
And it'll be young Michael Flanagan, son of the Auburn Terror himself, Shane Flanagan, to throw to this line out. And his line out throwing so far has been pretty good for them. They go to the front. Taking it down well was big Quinton Holland. Flanagan's got the ball at the back as Dunedin get the drive going now. And they've got a penalty. And they found Josh Dent, who got the ball and man at the same time. Did pretty well to control it. But they're coming back for the penalty anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to put the kiss of death on young Flanagan, but they're doing well here. They're making it easy for him. They're not complicating it or having runners up and down the line out. They're just throwing to 2 more often than not, and Holland's been very good at 2 for them. And so they're getting good reward there. Again, another interesting part of this game, Paul, isn't it? We've got about 20 minutes gone, just over. Dunedin are up by 7-0. If they were to get more points here, they'd really put the pressure on. So,
yeah, so Flanagan
part of the game again.
Flanagan to throw to this line out, right on the 22. And they've gone to the middle of the field, been picked up by Tarsi Courts at the back. Ball coming back on the inside. Scott in there looking for it. He's looking for Lepionka, the number 8. He takes it up over the 22, goes to trying to get to ground. He finally does so. Ball comes back to Scott. But it's actually the big prop in Oiti who's dragged it forward a couple of yards. They're in there looking for it again. This time it's Tarsi Courts, his fellow prop. They go forward another couple of yards. Ball goes to ground. Looking for runners. They found the number 6 and Hunter Cuff. But unsung hero for this Marco side, Hunter Cuff. Referee says penalty. Not releasing the ball. They're just not getting enough numbers there, Lee.
Yeah, he looked isolated. I think that was probably a little bit tough. That could have gone either way. I thought he came in off his feet. But again, good defence there from Kaikorai and a really vital save as well. And a relieving penalty that they will relish.
Caleb Hill. And he puts it straight over the top of our little scaffolding area. Remember, this game's brought to you by Ready Lawn, Jeeves Scaffolding and Liquorland. For all your liquor supplies, go and see your mate Hardy down at one of those 3 stores in town, Lee. And they won that line out at the back through Rutledge, and they take it out into the midfield again. Dunedin have ripped it clear. That's the second or third time they've dropped their ball on that carry. Comes back on the Dunedin side. Porter's got it, puts a wee kick through for his winger. John T. Willis chasing up. But they get back in numbers. Kaikorai have done well there to wrap that ball up and get it back. They'll be looking to try and put this out. And they put that kick away. And this line-out's going to form just inside the Kaikorai 22 with Dunedin to throw to the line.
Yeah, great D again from Dunedin. They managed to turn it over. And then Porter did the right thing. He didn't have the numbers, so he put the kick through. But luckily for Kaik, they had young Gregor Rutledge back there who was excellent in tidying up and able to have the strength to hold it up, to get numbers back, to clear. But another opportunity for Dunedin, 20 metres out. As
they go to the line out, will they go to Quinton Holland? He's been their go-to guy so far for them. No, they go to the back, and Scott's got it. Porter's got it. Here's Lepionka again on the charge. Inside the 22, right on the middle of the field. Scott's got it, looking for a runner. He's got McDonald, Seb McDonald coming through there. And they go wide this time. Josh Dent hits his man on the outside and Joe Parkinson. And again, another penalty. Kaikorai certainly disrupting that ball at ruck time, Lee.
Yeah, just not getting enough numbers to the breakdown there, the Sharks, and getting isolated out wide. But again, good line out. I just think they maybe could have taken it. They got into the middle. They could have either continued that drive forward. Not sure that was the right tactic, but...
So Caleb Hill with the relieving penalty inside his 22, kicks it down towards halfway, and that's a tidy kick from Hill. This will probably, in fact, the touch judges wouldn't buy carpet off that touch judge. And this line out's going to form just inside the 10-metre line of Kaikorai with a Kaikorai throw. Hal Regal to throw to this line out once he retrieves the ball from the sandbank over there. And they're into the back line. That didn't look very straight to me, but anyway, he gets that ball up, they charge it through, comes back on the Kaikorai side, looking for runners. They go wide this time, out to the wee fullback and Hazlitt, and he kicks away down. Tidy little kick, and he's given him an extra couple of yards, that touch judge.
Yeah, but I think getting it down the other end is what they're wanting to do. They've been under the pump for the last 5 or so minutes in their own 22, so well in this game. Dunedin leading 7-0.
Flanagan to throw. They go to the middle. It's gone to absolutely nobody, and there's the knock on there. And this will be a Kaikorai scrum on the 10-metre line.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about. You know, it's not been his normal position. He's been transitioned into a hooker, Michael Flanagan, this year. So you want to give him the best opportunities that you can.
I didn't think it was necessary to go to the back then. No. They're winning ball at 2 and 4. They should be sticking with their meat and potatoes. So Jacob Field to feed the scrum on the 10-metre line, 15 metres in from touch.
I've been impressed with Caleb Hill at 10 for Kaik today. He's looked like he runs a good show, and he's always looked for that opportunity. So let's see if he's got something cooked up for Kaik this time.
And again, it's the winger Mitchell coming in. And they've go to ground just inside the 10-metre line. Looking for runners. They found the big number 8 in Benjamin Bark. And again, they go wide to the number 4 this time, Casey Brown. And again, they've got it out to the fullback and Jack Hazlitt. He's beaten a couple of defenders, and then referee says, I'm not sure what he says, but it's a penalty.
Yeah, deliberate knockdown, I think. It's been good even flowing this game.
They've just given up. That's a pretty ordinary display there from Dunedin. They've just given up 10 metres through some indiscipline. Yeah,
well, what they've done, Paul, is they've put themselves under pressure for a line-out drive 5 metres out, where 10 metres back he might have struggled to put it 5 metres out. So their own worst enemy on that play.
And here we go. So this line-out is on the 5-metre line. Well, it's just outside that, but this is a good opportunity for Kaikorai. The scrums look strong and their line-outs look strong, so can they get themselves over the line and get themselves back into the game? They're down 7-0 currently, and they get the ball to the back of that maul, and then they start to drive it forward. And they've got a real nice wee drive going on here, and they've gone over and scored the try. 7-5, kick to come.
Yeah, I mean, trying to do that for the first couple of line-outs, but what they did better there was they moved the point of attack, so instead of trying to go through the middle where Dunedin have been able to easily defend that, and the last few line-out opportunities that Kaikorai have had, that time they split it off, and Dunedin were just short on numbers and Kaikorai went over. But again, it came back to that good kick through, the disruption to the line-out, and then a couple of dumb mistakes from Dunedin and that penalty. So, you know, that's the tightness of finals. It's just key moments and little things that don't go your way. Dunedin had an opportunity, couldn't take it. Kaikorai come back and do take it, and likely to be tied up at 7-all.
Yeah, this kick's about, looks like he's about just 12, 13 metres in from touch, and I think it's who is that goal kicker? Not sure who that is. I'll get his number shortly. I don't think it's not the first 5 anyway.
Might be Hazlitt. Oh no,
it's not Hazlitt either. It must be one of the midfielders possibly. And then we've got a guy charging that kick, and he has drained it. 7-all.
Yeah, well, they've had a great history, these two clubs, haven't they? And Colts, they're by far and away the best two Colts sides, not only in this competition, but certainly in recent years. I think probably in the last 6 finals, I think they've probably played in 4 of them at least, maybe even 5 of them.
And that was Jonty Fleck, the centre, that kicked that goal. So 7-all.
And
yes, Dunedin have won, I think, 5 or 6 of these in a row now, of these Premier Colts titles, but most of the years they've played Kaikorai. In fact, Kaikorai should have won the final they had last year. They had a kick in front from 30-odd metres out, and and just muffed it to hand the title to Dunedin last year.
Absolutely should have. And they've had an up and down season. I think last year when they got to the final, Dunedin hadn't lost, but I think Kaikorai only lost twice, and that had been to Dunedin, so they were by far the best teams. But Kaikorai have had a couple of hiccups along the way. They lost to Varsity.
They lost twice to the Sharks, and you're right, they did lose to Varsity. As Dunedin throw to this line out just inside their own half, Flanagan to throw. Do they go back to 2 or 4? I'd want to hope so. And they've taken it down. Oh, that didn't look very straight either. They bring it out into the midfield, and we've crashed. That's a beautiful piece of defence there. Just absolutely crushed them. And then they've just rolled over the top of this, and then Dunedin somehow got it back. Thought perhaps slightly illegally too by falling on that ball. And it's Tarsi Courts takes it 40 yard. They go to ground. They're in there looking for it now, Dunedin. It's very slow coming back to Scott. He finds a runner. Scott's got it back. They go wide to Paku. He's got a man on his outside who puts a wee kick over the top, and Noah Johnson into the 22. But 15, Hazlitt's back there, and then he goes round his man, and Hazlitt's away. And he's got a big line-up. He's put a wee kick ahead. And as he got the gas, the ball rolls into touch just outside the 22.
Yeah, some good and bad there from both sides. They got caught short on that short side, did Kaikorai. Then the kick from Noah Johnson just was way too far, and he never gave himself. And then Dunedin just didn't follow through. And they created space for Hazlitt, who saw it straight away, skipped into it. And then he really needed a kick that he could have regathered or given himself a chance to, and unfortunately went into touch. But Kaikorai have definitely had the better of the last 10 minutes or so.
Dunedin have gone to the short line out, and it was one at the front. There's Tarsi Courts banging it up as somebody came reeling out of that contact. Scott looking for it just outside the 22. He's going to put the kick over the top, coming down on halfway as the wee winger scurries in to try and pick it up. It's just gone back to Hazlitt, and Hazlitt's looking for an offload, and he's got an offload to 13. They go wide to Mitchell. And Mitchell's away, but then he's brought down by Seb McDonald, the open side flanker for the Sharks, who got back there in defence. Looking for runners again. Cleaver's got it. They go wide to the midfield. Hazlitt's got it wide. Pass goes to nobody. We've got a big knock on, and then we've got a kick through. And then he's just missed it completely. Been picked up by number 12, Josh Dent for Dunedin. Right on halfway. Can they get the ball back from this scrum? Or this ruck, I should say. Scott put another kick over the top, down towards the 22.
Nah, poor option.
Really just gave them too much time there. And Kaikorai drag it back towards the 10-metre line. Remember, it's 7-all, and we are probably 30 minutes into this game now. Dunedin get over the top of that, but yes, and they do. They drag the penalty.
Yeah, Quinton Holland over the top of that. Courts over the top of that. But again, not a great option from Henry Scott. They had the momentum going forward, and then he just put the kick and turned them round. But
and
he's going to have a shot, yeah.
He's going to have a shot at goal, Darcy Porter. He's right on the 10-metre line. He's probably 18, 19 metres in from touch. Probably well within his range, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's really those Kaikorai handling errors that are letting them down. As I said, they're looking really good out wide. They're creating space out wide. It's that final pass that's either going to ground or they're having to take the tackle too early and Dunedin is scrambling. But, good final so far. And tight as expected.
So, Darcy Porter. Can he put Dunedin up by 3? And we are probably 32, 33 minutes into the first half now. Remember, currently 7-all. Forward up. Strikes it pretty well. And he's drained it. Nice kick from Porter.
Yeah, look, those are really key points, aren't they, in a final? Just knocking over your goals. Both goal kickers have been good, but that's, 40 out on the angle. That's a good kick, great kick.
And they bring it back to halfway. Dunedin up 10-7. Remember, this game brought to you by Ready Lawn, Jeeves Scaffolding and Liquorland. And it's the wee first 5 in the form of Caleb Hill to get us back underway. What have they got, Kaikorai, in this last 7 or 8 minutes of this first half? Seb McDonald's underneath that for Dunedin. He's played a lot of Marco's rugby, Seb McDonald. He's been an absolute Trojan for this team for the last 3 or 4 years. Courts again, takes it forward. Goes to ground. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Scott's in there looking for it. And he's going to put another kick over the top. And he's done that, put it down towards halfway. Jack Hazlitt waiting underneath that. Takes it well. And what's he going to do? And he's dragged down just inside the Dunedin half. The number 4, Casey Brown, takes it forward. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. And there's a big charge from, that could be Rutledge there. Ball comes back on their side again. It's been in the hands of the first 5. They go wide and they get it out wide to the winger in the form of Ryan White. He puts a kick ahead down towards the goal line. Parku racing back for that. Parku's got it. He's come away with it. And then he puts, I have to say, a pretty average kick in to nowhere, but then got across to trip, nearly disrupted, and there was a wee knock on there.
Oh, he's done very well there, Parku. He was under pressure, came back, picked up the ball, saw where the space was, beat that tackler who would have put him up behind the goal line.
I
don't think the left foot kick was really what he was trying to do there, but it ended up being okay.
I think it may have come off the side of the boot just for good measure, but he did get it back. And Dunedin have got the scrum.
But you can see there, Paul, where they're creating space out wide. They're just one pass away, and then when they get there, they're really looking dangerous. That's where they're making some really good game. And I'm sure at half-time their coaches will be saying the edge is where we need to go, because that's where we're getting good gains.
So it's Scott to feed the scrum, just inside their own 10-metre line. It's a better scrum from Dunedin. He's going to go blind this time. And there's Willis, the big strong form of Willis, the winger. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. And they're looking to get this wide. And then Dent's put a wee kick through. Can he get that? He can regain it, Dent. That's a good run from Dent. Goes to ground just inside the 10-metre line. Dunedin storming into that. They've got the ball. Can they go wide? Have they got numbers out there? They have. They've found Parku out wide. They've taken it over the 22. Release the ball and win again. They're still going, Dunedin. They're only 6 or 7 metres out here. Now can they get the ball back? They've hit Flanagan, the wee red-headed terror, or the wee red headband on his head. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Number 4 this time, Quinton Holland drags. If they're only a couple of yards out here, Dunedin, what can they do? Can they get themselves over the line?
Got to get numbers there.
This time. It's pretty slow coming back this time. Referee's in having a look. Ball comes back. They drive at the line. They're only a metre out. Have they gone over? Have they scored? What's the referee say? Held up.
Ooh. Goal line dropout. Yeah, that's a let off for Kaikorai there.
I hate this rule. I really hate this rule.
Yeah, you do everything well, don't you? And then you just get kind of a guy gets under it.
And you just get absolutely screwed.
Yeah, vital part. Great defence really from Kaikorai coming.
So first 5, Caleb Hill looking to get this deep out of his own 22.
Yeah, great nudge.
Great nudge down to Parku on the 10-metre line. He brings it back up. Still going, Parku takes it up towards the 22. Strong run from Parku. Ball comes back on the ring. Referee says penalty.
Yeah.
I think they'll take the 3 again here, Lee.
Yeah, I think so. Tamua's running on.
Well, he's shambling on rather than running on.
Well, I think what we've seen today with his brother playing in the early game is that Tamua's not the most talented in his family by a long way.
Yeah,
of course, he heads off to Hong Kong next week.
400 carries from Damon.
He was very
today.
good.
He just seemed to be carrying the ball all the time, especially in that second half.
Yeah, Dunedin will be keen to get points here. They should have really scored. So knocking over 3, but again, as I say, it just keeps that scoreboard chipping over. We're just about B half.
Just about B half time. So it's 10-7 with 10-7 and this kick to come. He's just outside the 22, and he's pretty much right in front. Be very surprised if he misses this. And he's nailed it. 13 to 13-7, in fact, with about a minute to go till half time.
Yeah, I think both teams will be pretty happy with the first half. It's definitely created opportunities, Kaikorai, so I think there'll be enough in it for their coaches at half time to be pretty pleased with where they've got. Replacement here, 22, has rocked on there, Paul.
He's come on for somebody. We'll chase him down at half time, as it's the wee first 5 to put it deep down into Dunedin territory. Back to Porter. And has he found touch?
Yeah.
I don't know if he has. He has. That's a
great
kick from Porter. He's just carved off 40, 50 metres there. And that's good work from him.
He's done that twice, and that's not great there by Caleb Hill. What he needs to do is put more depth on it, or put it deeper so that he cuts down that angle. He's just given him 15 metres in, and he's just ploughed that down, and now he's putting Kaikorai under a little bit of pressure.
Bruno Burgess gives the instructions, the captain of the Kaikorai team at prop. Another player out of Southland Boys. As the hooker, Ben Hellregal, throws to the line. It's been won by Dunedin. No, they've done well there. They've got that back, and Scott will be looking for it. He's looking for some runners. He finds number 6 and Hunter Cuff. Good work from Cuff. Scott's got it. They go wide
Nice.
to Flanagan, who just bustles his way up, makes some good territory. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Scott's in there looking for it. He's found the big number 1 in Sawana Iti. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. And what's Porter going to do? Porter takes it forward, looking for a runner. He's found Scott. Scott's put a wee kick over the top. Bit aimless, to be perfectly honest. And the wee first 5 brings it up. Brought down by Flanagan, 10 metres outside his own 22. Ball comes back to the Kaikorai side. Nice run from one of the big props. And they're going to go wide this time. They've got numbers if they can use them. There's a strong hit there from Parkinson in the midfield.
Yeah, but again, they needed to shift it, didn't they?
In fact, and again they go to ground, just inside their own 10-metre line. They're looking for the ball now. Dunedin trying to get over the top of it and sport it, but it comes back to the big prop Cleaver, who trundles it up towards the 10-metre line. This time they go back, and that's a pretty average kick, or is it going to find? But it's going to find touch. And the referee says that's half-time. So 13-7, Dunedin up over Kaikorai. Lee, are they worth a 6-point lead?
Yeah, probably. They scored the only try of the half, which was a wee bit against the run of play, as we said. But I think both coaches, Paul, will go on at half-time and have, some encouraging words, I think, for Kaikorai. As I said to you, they look really good. I mean, it's easy to see we've got a bit more height on it, doesn't it? But when they get that ball out wide, they're just 1 or 2 passes. They're creating enough space. They're just not quite finding that final link in. But for Dunedin, I think both sides' defence has been really good in the half. I think both teams will go in saying, look, there's enough in it for us. Typical final. Dunedin probably, they've got their noses in front, but it wouldn't take much for this game to even up. But again, another tight final.
So there it is. Just remember this game brought to you by Liquorland, Ready Lawn and Jeeves Scaffolding, and we'll be back with the second half shortly.
Wait for seed to germinate. Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz. wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.
Yep. Right, underway here back at Tahuna Park, and Kaikorai have got us underway, kicking down towards the Dunedin 22, and it's the open side flanker for the Sharks. Seb McDonald dragging it forward up towards the 10-metre line. Young Flanagan's got it now, and he hits Tarsi Courts on the outside, on his outside shoulder. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side, and it's Henry Scott in there looking for it. And Henry Scott, oh, and he didn't knock it on, he actually knocked it backwards, so they will carry on, and that's a great take. But then he's knocked it on, so wasn't really a great take. I'll take that back. Anyway, so Scott to Dunedin.
He might have knocked that on, Henry Scott, there. He just bubbled around with it. I know what he was trying to do, but again, a good exit from Dunedin from the kickoff.
And the scrum's going to form on the 10-metre line with the Dunedin feed after that knock on from the, might have been the replacement winger, and Ryan Flowers.
Yeah, so Flowers has come on for Ryan White, yeah, who got, I think he went off with an HIA. He got hit in that big collision with about 10 to go in the first half.
And Dunedin to feed the scrum. Scott's fed it. It's been hooked for him. It's a better scrum from the Sharks. Ball comes into Porter. He hits Parkinson. Parkinson takes it up strongly towards the 10-metre line, goes to ground. Ball comes back to Porter, who puts it high. This is not a bad kick. And that's gonna land in space. And well picked up by Flowers, the winger. And now they drive it forward. Number 20, another replacement player on. Referee's got him for what?
Yeah, he was offside.
Offside.
I think that was Jonty Willis, didn't retire when he hit the player. It was a good kick, went into no man's land, and then the bounce, the ball could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for Kaikorai, it came back to them.
That's Orlando Tupai Vatupu, who played a few premier games for the, who's come on at number 20. And it's the hooker, Ben Hellregal, to feed this line out. And they go to the back again to Rutledge. And they've got looking for numbers. They found the big number 8. He charges up towards the 10-metre line right in the middle of the field. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. And he's put to park. That's Orlando. He's taken it 2 or 3 yards. He's added some punch since he's been on. And there's the wee fullback, Jack Hazlitt, taking it forward up towards the 22. Comes back on the Kaikorai side. Number 3, Bruno Burgess. Probably the second time we've mentioned him today. Comes back on their side again, looking for runners out wide. They find Hazlitt. No, it's 13 this time, and it's Jonty Fleck, the goal kicker, in fact. Ball comes to ground, and here's Cleaver. And then Cleaver's knocked it on, comes back to Dunedin. And then they put a kick deep down towards the 10-metre line. Waiting back there is Hazlitt. He's picked it up, and he brings it down towards the 10-metre line. Then he puts his foot to it. It's coming straight down to Parkinson. No, in fact, it's the first 5 in Porter. Dunedin have done well to get that ball back. They're going backwards there. Good defence from Kaikorai. Scott in there looking for it. And then they get it wide. And it's out to the winger in Willis, who kicks it down towards the 22, and then the number 10 and Caleb Hill puts it back. Paku this time goes away for Dunedin. He takes it up towards halfway, Paku, then he's dragged down. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Scott's in there looking for it. He's looking for a runner. He's found McDonald, who caught the ball on his knees. Goes to ground again. Scott looking for it. A wee bit untidy there. Number 6 that time takes it forward, and Hunter Cuff. And they're starting to get a wee bit of structure back into their game now. And that's Quentin Holland taking it forward, a younger brother of Fabian Holland, the Highlander. And here's Parkinson looking for a hole, doesn't find it. Ball comes back on their side though. Big number 8. He's taken it away. That's a good run from the number 8, Lepionka. Ball comes back on the inside. Scott's got it. He finds Parkinson again. He finds Flanagan on his outside. He burrows forward as only Flanagan can. Ball comes back to Scott. Back to Seb McDonald, who took the ball under pressure, makes a few yards, goes to ground right on the halfway line. Scott's looking for it. He put a kick over the top here, but I think he's possibly kicked that too far. Oh, he just about put it down, but then there's a nice tackle gets made on the 13 from Parkinson. Dunedin charging into that ruck, but they've still got it. The big number 4's got that. Casey Brown takes it over the 10-metre line. And then Dunedin have disrupted that. Ball comes back slowly on the Kaikorai side, and Dunedin all over the top of them. Now they get a bit of go forward. And Kaikorai going in to get the ball now. Dragged down. And he puts a kick over the top. But that's straight down the throat of Paku, who's waiting back for it. And then he puts his foot to it. But he may have put that out on the full. And he has.
Yeah,
that's a mistake.
Pretty aimless kicking from both teams there. And in the end, it was the worst of the kick, which came from Kaikorai, which ended up being down Paku. I thought he might have run that back, actually. I know he was looking to go for potentially the 50-22 or 40-22, whatever it's called. It's another stupid league rule that they've introduced.
Another league rule they've just made up.
But yeah, like both teams there, that would be some disappointing aimless kicking. So
took Kaikorai to the throat of this line out. Pretty untidy. There's a knock on there. Referee didn't see it. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Now they come. Halfback gets it, and they have that. In fact, I tell a lie. The touch judge picked that up. There was a knock on there.
Yeah, it's these little mistakes, isn't it? Kaikorai can't afford them. They're down on the scoreboard by 13-7. If Dunedin were to get more points, it just makes their job a little bit harder today.
Hasn't reached any great heights this game.
It's not been as good as the first game.
No, the first game had us all on the edge of our seats with a 32-29 victory to the Dunedin Hammerheads over Harbour. 13-7. 1 try and 2 penalties to Dunedin to 1 try from Harbour.
Kaikorai.
And just as we speak, Fabian Holland,
here's the great
the
man
older
himself.
Brother of Quentin Holland, turns up.
Yes, he
There's
does.
a Dunedin the scrum penalty. And this Dunedin scrum seems to have got a bit stronger, Lee. They struggled early on.
Yeah, and they've got a little bit to come in off the bench there as well, which will kind of help them. But yeah, they've certainly got a good front row. I think look, both teams have. Cleaver's been good for Kaikorai as well. I think the battle has been right up front. But again, I think I just think if Kaikorai could get that ball a wee bit wider.
So Flanagan's going to throw to a shortened line out as the two of the bigger men just wander into the line out. And it's nice. Dragged out of the air by Quentin Holland. Lepionka again, driving forward over the halfway line. Scott's got it. And that's a nice wee return pass to Scott. And here's Flanagan. He's off Flanagan. Over the 10-metre line, still going Flanagan. That's a good run from him. Really got his boys on the front foot there. We kick over the top from Porter. Lots of space back there, and I thought I might have found touch, but it's back with Hazlitt. Hazlitt will run it up and then put a kick to it, and that's gone deep into Dunedin territory. That's a good kick from Hazlitt. Porter back there, finally gets it, fires it out into the midfield to Lepionka, the number 8. He puts his foot down. He found his winger in the form of Noah Johnson. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Scott's got it. Looking for a runner. They found it, number 4, Quentin Holland. He goes to ground. Over the top go the Dunedin forwards. Porter's got it now. He hits the big prop. And he had Flanagan on his outside, didn't use him. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Tarsi Courts, the other prop, picks that up. He goes forward a couple of yards, goes to ground. And there's instructions coming from the sideline from Tamua, and they're not listening to him. And the ball goes wide. Willis this time on that blind side. But Kaikorai over the top of that, referee says it's out.
Touch. Yeah, but again, a bit messy, isn't it? Going to be a change at hooker here for Dunedin. Flanagan's played well today, so he'll be very happy with his afternoon. His line-out throwing's been on. He's very tough. He's low to the ground, and so he's quite hard to stop, and he's been good around the field as well. So Wilson comes on, the former Southern Boys High School hooker who's come back from injury, and he'll add to that Dunedin scrum. He's just a bigger specimen than Flanagan, but Flanagan can please with his 60-odd minutes this afternoon.
Yeah, he's played pretty well, and you're right, big Hoani Makora Wilson on, and Kaikorai won that line at the back through Rutledge again. They put a wee kick over the top, and that's found space. Where's this going to go? It's actually gone into the hands of Paku, and Paku makes good ground, holding the ball in one hand, which I don't like. But anyway, they've picked it up and they're just driven straight into his own man. Got away with that though, and referee says knock on from
Kaikorai came over the top. Yeah, good from Paku though. And unless you're Colin Meads, I'm with you. You don't hold the ball in one hand. Colin's not really holding it in one hand now, not being with us. But yeah, I know what you mean. But again, it's just that aimless kicking. They're looking for space, but more often than not, it's either going to hand or they're kicking it too far. Hazlitt's been good at the back for Kaikorai today. He's really snuffed out a lot of those Dunedin opportunities when they've come, and then he's made ground, and that was again probably a good kick from Porter, but Kaikorai scrambled well and Hazlitt got them out of trouble.
Righto, so Henry Scott to feed the scrum on the Kaikorai 10-metre line. Still got that sun with us, which is great news. Scott, that scrum looks good for Dunedin. Lepionka's going to come off the back. It's a good drive from Lepionka. Scott's in there looking for it. They've found it, and here he is. Wilson, the replacement hooker, goes forward a few yards, goes to ground. Scott's got it. Porter's got it. Porter looks for a hole, doesn't find it, but gets through, gets his hands through the gap. Scott's got it again. This time it's Dent. Takes it up towards the 22. Referee's got his arm out.
Yeah, they looked offside.
And it's a penalty. What do they would take the 3 here again, Lee?
Yes, you would take the 3, I think.
Was Tamura, are you running out with that T?
Not allowed now. They're pointing now. He can run out. You're not running with any pace or conviction, Tamura.
No, he should have just ran straight out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on his final warning.
Final warning. I'd actually remove him from the ground if it was me, but
getting some stick anyway, so we're going to have a shot at goal. It'll be Porter to have this shot at goal. He's already kicked a couple of penalties today. He's probably about 8-9 metres out from the 22, and he's just to the left of the posts.
Yeah, so an important kick again, because obviously this would put Dunedin out past that 7-point range. But again, we talked about it when you knocked that one over from 42 in the first half, just how important those kicks are. They're vital in keeping the scoreboard ticking over, but keeping you either ahead or still very much in the game. Here
he comes. Porter comes in.
Oh, he's hooked that,
He may have hooked that.
Yeah.
And he has. He's hooked it away to the left.
That's
his first miss for the day.
Yeah, just didn't strike it as well as he struck the other ones. You could see that came off the tee. So a bit of a let off there. A couple of subs on now. 21 on for
Kaikorai. Brodie McDonald. And Kaikorai to the drop out from the 22. Puts it deep down into Dunedin's half.
Kick.
Scott's back there. And he's found Dent. He's put a wee kick over the top. But luckily he's got back. At least he's got back and made that tackle on the defender. Comes back on the Kaikorai side. They put a kick up, and that's been knocked on. That was pretty awful. That was hideous to watch. And they've come away with the ball. That's Mitchell, the winger, doing a good job there, getting the ball into midfield. And the new halfback is on with the headgear. And they drag it forward again. And here's number 7. It's Rutledge. Good strong carry from Rutledge. They get over the top of him though. Ball goes to ground. And it's the big number 8. Bark takes it up over the 10-metre line, goes to ground. Oh, and then we've got a knock on.
Yeah, not good that, is it? But again, came from a bit of a mistake. Mistake's kind of creeping in. Game's starting to open up. But a good dropout from field again. He's been good today. The 10 and 15 have been good. I'm surprised they've taken the young halfback off for Kaikorai. He looked good today.
Can't go past anyway. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. And Paku's got it. He's found Dent. He's found his winger, Willis. He's put a wee kick over the top. Everybody's running for this. What's going to happen here? Who's got the pace? Could be Willis.
Yeah,
Willis scores the try.
Yeah, that's one of the great tries that. They created space on the outside. Paku went to the line, skipped out, and then Willis had gas down that left-hand touchline. The perfect kick ahead, and then he was just too quick. He had the momentum for everybody. The ball set up nicely for him just before the dead ball line reached, and he went over for a vital score for the Sharks inside that first 20 minutes of the second half.
18 points to 7 with the kick to come. Yeah, that was a really nice try, and I wasn't sure how much gas he had, but he had far too much gas for the Kaikorai defence.
Yeah, well, they had, you can see from the scrum feed, they're dropping the 10, young, what's his name? Young Caleb Hill has dropped to the back when they have that defence, and so he was caught out because Hazlitt comes up into the line to defend. So when they went left, he was caught a little bit short, and he just didn't have the gas to get across. But it was the perfect kick there from Willis, and he went far enough that he drew the Kaikorai players to him, and then he was able to kick it and get him behind them. So, yeah, really well worked try. And credit there to Ben Paku as well, who created that space.
I know, so we've got our first 5, Darcy Porter. He's 5 metres in from touch. Can he land this goal? He struck that better, and I think he's nailed it.
Kick.
20 to 7.
Yeah, that's a great kick from him, and those are the kind of kicks and the kind of points that when you're in a final are, really vital.
So 20 to 7. We've probably had 18 minutes of this. Oh, we'll call it 17.
Most of these are 4:15, I think, that finishes, so probably about 25 to go. So plenty of time for Kaikorai to get back in it. So Paku, Johnson off.
Johnson's off, and they've got a replacement winger on. We'll catch up with him shortly.
Yeah, George Tingy on.
George Tingy on the wing there for Dunedin, number 22. As they kick down towards the 22. The big number 4 goes up and grabs it, and Quinton Holland. But it's had a pretty good game today, big Quinton. And Porter's got it, looking for a runner in the midfield. That's a nice run from the number 5 and Lachlan Stevens. Ball's come back on the Dunedin side. Back to Porter. He throws his foot at it. Goes down to the wee first 5 in, and he's put a wee kick through, but it's a wee bit aimless. But that's a nice tackle. Great tackle, and they're all over him like a rash. And the ball's coming to Kaikorai.
Yeah. It was definitely high.
Was it high?
High with no arms when he came in and had him. And he stayed down, and that's why he stayed down. He's got blood coming from him.
He's got blood coming out of his ear.
What, that could be more serious there. If he's called them for a high tackle here, there could be a bit of drama. He's going to call the touch judge.
He's going to call the touch judge in.
10 years old, but this is one of the issues.
Probably 16 or 18 between the two of them.
Yeah, but it's one of the issues, isn't it, Paul? These young guys have done an amazing job through the year of these. But I tell you what, you look at the blood coming from his ear. He's very lucky he's still on here.
He's getting called out.
This would be a gutsy call, but that's high, no arms.
Yep.
And blood coming from the ear, and he's going to have to go off.
Is he going for the pocket? I don't think he is.
Pocket, so
he's very lucky if that's the case.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, really. Oh no,
he is going to the pocket. Yeah, he's got a yellow card.
Yeah, and that's fair enough.
Yep. So he's going to get 10 minutes. Caleb Hill, as he comes to the sideline, and their number 9, Henry Scott, still not up. He's beating quite heavily from that ear.
Yeah,
the question will be whether they leave him on, Lee.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they can pull that. He would be off for an HIA there, wouldn't he, if it's hit him in the head. Look, I don't think there was any malice in it. I think kind of Scott sort of ducked, but it's not for him to decide, and he came through. That's actually good refereeing, to be fair.
They're taping him up, so he might be staying on.
Stay on, yeah. But this is a vital 10 minutes here for Kaikorai. Like, if Dunedin were to score again and shoot out to a 27 or 25-27 lead, or even get a penalty and keep kind of the scoreboard ticking over, that would make life quite hard for Kaikorai.
And they're still getting some attention here to Porter. Remember, the score is currently 20 to 7.
Yeah, the other drama is that your 10's kind of key, isn't he? So Mitch Pride not happy there with Kaikorai. Bit of chat between
the referee's man down here and some of the players.
Yeah. It's always the way, though, isn't it? I'm not sure about this rule, Paul, where they have they brought it in this year where the teams are side by side in some sort of enclosed jail-like box area.
I think it's a recipe for disaster.
And it's
personally.
been a disaster.
And Porter finally gets that penalty underway after that prolonged injury, Blake.
It just allows for a
Scott
lot of...
is staying on the field.
It just allows for a lot of testosterone and roaring and yelling and yahooing to go on. That's probably a bit unnecessary.
Dunedin are getting some big numbers on now.
Yeah, so big Matt Attenborough on at 19 and Emil John on at 21 for Joshy Dent.
Josh Dent, who's
and
come
I
from
think
the
that's
field.
under cuff. He's a big boy, that Matt Attenborough.
He fills out a jersey,
He
number
does.
19. He's a big man. Righto, Dunedin to go to this line out with Wilson to throw. They go to the front. Taken down well. Referee says not straight.
I'm not
We've
sure
had
that
about
was-
20 of those today, and that's the first one that's been picked up.
Yeah, don't know what to call there. I don't know if it wasn't straight. There seems to be some other call there.
Yeah.
That he's kind of come up with. But anyway.
So it's Brody McDonald to feed the scrum right on the 10-metre line, 15 metres in from touch in their own territory.
Yeah, now Kite just have to roll down these these next 10 minutes. They've got a player off. They just cannot afford to concede any more points. They're down by 20-7. They have to be the next scorers in this game.
They've hooked the ball. McDonald's got it and just about knocked it on. And then they get the wee charge on from the number 12 in Cruz Wallace. McDonald gets it out a bit wider, but Dunedin defence are all over that. And the ball, but it goes to ground, and Kaikorai still have that ball. Is he going to put a kick in? No, they're going to run this up, and it's back with Hazlitt. He gets it wide, and they show some real gas there. And they're still going forward. That's some nice run from Mitchell. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side, looking for a runner. And they found Big Orlando there. He's taken it up, but Dunedin defence has held him up pretty well. McDonald goes in looking for it. He's got it now. But he thought he may have knocked that on, but no, he didn't. Ball comes on. That's a nice hit. That's a big hit. Big hit from number 1, the big prop, and Sawani Iti. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side, however. Number 8 takes it forward.
He's lost it forward.
But he's lost the ball.
Oh.
It's a bit
Yeah, I think
an interesting call.
The referee's got that call right.
Anyway, it's going to be...
Potentially could have played an advantage there.
There could have been a wee bit of
I think
advantage.
he thought that Dunedin knocked it on. That's why he's called him back. But
Right. So Dunedin scrum.
So, but good defence. But Kaikorai will be, as I said to you, they will be just desperate to try and hang in for the next 10 minutes or so, and then play the last quarter of an hour with all players back.
And it's now not a Dunedin scrum.
Yeah, Dunedin the ball.
We're all over the place here. We are all over the place. Anyway, so Scott's got the ball. He's going to feed the scrum 3 or 4 metres in Kaikorai territory. 16 or 17 metres in from touch. And again, Rutledge is playing halfback.
Yeah, well, there's a strategy to this. I'm just not sure what it is.
It's a good scrum from Dunedin. Ball comes back on their side. Oh, that was a pretty average pass. Parkinson did a good job of picking that up and going forward.
Really
Parkinson
good.
takes it up towards the 10-metre line, looking for runners again. And they've found the big number 8
Going to be a
in
penalty here.
Lewis Lepionka. And they go blind. Emil John, the replacement centre. But he's been held up. But they finally get it to ground, and then Kaikorai have come over the top of that. Referee says we'll come back for the penalty. What do we do here, Lee? Does he take the shot here?
Yeah, I'd take the points again. You know, like a 23 to...
Tamura only looks like he's going to run on very quickly with that kicking tee, and he is going to take the shot at goal.
Well, it's whether he got permission to run on or whether he'll be exited from the ground now after those final warnings. But yeah, no, look, you take the points, Paul, out at 23 to 3.
23 to 7, in fact.
23
Lee.
to 7 it would be. I keep forgetting that Kike scored that try.
And we're thinking probably...
Yeah, I'm thinking...
Probably still 20.
Yeah,
probably
20
still 20 to go.
With that break.
Yep.
But you just keep chipping away and getting those penalties and knocking them over if you can. This one's probably 35 metres out. It's not dead in front, but it's probably only 5 or 6 metres to the left of the uprights. You can normally tell with Darcy Porter and how he strikes it.
Just while we're doing this, Lee, I can actually he's having that kick at goal, and I think he has missed it. Way to the right. I can give you the netball scores today, Lee.
Oh, could you?
Yes, University LBNA 52, Phys A 50. You can't believe Phys went down. College A 58, Uni Albion B 38, for ZB 42, St Hilda's 31, South Pacific Taiko 60, Southern Magpies 53. Thanks to Leanne Anderson for sending those through. But we're back with the game after missing that kick at goal. Ball comes back to Paku on halfway. What's he going to do? He's going to go for a wee run, Paku. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. Scott's got it. He finds the number 4. He gets it wide to Willis, who just puts it down. Took his eyes off it and put it down cold.
Yeah, he looked up there, didn't he? He was in there, I'm going to catch this, and what's in front of me. And I think he was thinking about doing exactly what he did when he scored the try, which was the chip and chase, but he didn't catch it. So that meant on that. But a bit of a let-off on that kick there, Paul. If Dunedin managed to get that and get it out to past that 14 point, that means they'd have to score 3 times Kaikorai. And that would have been very difficult. So I think they're a bit of a let-off there.
Yep, and looks like Toby Beckett has joined the fray, and Scott, after that head clash, has come off.
Yeah, he's limping a little bit too on that right leg. I think he's done a pretty good job this afternoon.
So Beckett's on the field as a replacement halfback. So 2 replacement halfbacks on the field with Brodie McDonald feeding the scrum for Kaikorai. That's a good scrum from Dunedin, though. What's the referee going to say? He said reset the scrum.
Yeah, it's all time again now for Kaikorai. There's a quarter of an hour to go. I'd say their man in the bin has probably only got 5 minutes to go. But again, it's time. When you're chasing the game, you have to start thinking, right, what do we need to do? What are we going to do? Another try, converted try, and they're right back in it. So they're not out of it.
Not out of it, not by any stretch. And it's Kaikorai to feed the scrum through McDonald. They've got Flowers standing at as the stand-in first 5, the winger, the replacement winger, with Caleb Hill still off the field. Ball comes back on from the Kaikorai scrum. That's a good scrum from Kaikorai. And Flowers drags it up. He goes wide to the midfield, and they've hit their winger out wide. Where's he going to go? He's put a kick ahead. Mitchell getting back there was the Dunedin first 5 in the form of Darcy Porter. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side. And Quentin Holland tries to run it up, but the Kaikorai defence are all over him like a rash. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side, however. Again, they're looking for runners. And they found it in the form of Parkinson. They try to get over the top, and they've stolen that. Kaikorai did very, very well at that scrum. That ruck, I should say. Ball comes back slowly on their side.
Yeah, key moment of the game here, Paul.
If they can get over here and score some points, especially with a man in the bin, it'll be a massive effort. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Looking for a runner, and they found it in the form of Cleaver. He goes to ground. In fact, it's Bruno Burgess. Ball comes back again on the Kaikorai side. Wee halfback gets in there to make the tackle for Dunedin, but the ball's still there for Kaikorai, and they're going forward. They're only 5 or 6 metres out now. Ball coming back on the Kaikorai side. This is looking promising, and then they get back and make a big tackle, the replacement flanker. Go to ground again, Kaikorai. Ball's still there for them, though. McDonald's got it. Feeds it up. Again, they go a yard. Ball cut back on the Kaikorai side. Can they get over the line here? Good tackle from the 19, but did let him go on the second hit. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side still. McDonald's got it. Looking for a runner. He's found Big Orlando. He goes a yard. Goes to ground. Still outside the 5 metre line. Referee's got his arm out for a penalty. And number 12 stabs it forward. Cruz Wallace. And they're still going blind. Orlando again going hard at the line. They're only 5 metres out. Ball slowly coming back for them. Can they get over the line here, Kaikorai? They've got a penalty coming if they need it. Orlando taken to ground again. Nice tackle from the big number 19 for the Matthew Attenborough. Ball goes to ground again. They're only a couple of metres out now. And looking for runners on this blind side. Still 2 or 3 metres out. Good defence from Dunedin, but Kaikorai still hammering away, trying to get across the line and get themselves back into the game. They charge at the line. Still a couple of metres out. Ball slowly coming back. McDonald's hit Mitchell. Mitchell goes at the line. He's held up. Again coming back. Still looking for runners. Found it in the form of Cruz Wallace. He gets taken to ground. Can they get over the line here, Kaikorai? Referee says we'll come back for the penalty.
Yeah, well, that was great play, great ball continuity from Kaikorai, but great defence from Dunedin. And as I say, I'd say there's maybe 15 minutes to go. So this is a vital part of the game for Kaikorai. I think this is it for them now. If they can score, they'll get some self-belief and it'll be all on for the last 10 minutes.
And they're about to get their first 5 back on too by the look of it, Lee. He's just starting to warm up here as Kaikorai go to this line at 5 metres out.
So they scored from this in the first half, so what do they can do in the second half?
Yeah, Ben Hellregal. They go to the middle. But it's again Gregor Rutledge been a source of ball for them all day. Now they get the drive on Kaikorai. Dunedin try and hold them up. They're going across the field. And they come away blind. Number 12, Cruz Wallace, can he get across? No, he's knocked it on.
He's in touch.
Crucial. Great defence from the Dunedin winger. But that's a crucial knock on for Kaikorai.
Yeah, so get young Hill back on. Caleb Hill comes back on, so they're back to the 10. They're making some changes too. They're
getting some fresh legs on Kaikorai.
There, yeah, that was great defence from Dunedin. They found the line-out jumper in the middle. They were able to snuff that, and then when they went right, they were able to push him into touch. So really good defence from Dunedin. As I say, if they can exit out of this, I think they'll be very happy with it. Their defence has been the key today. But
and
again,
they're just getting the hooker's just getting his riding instructions here. Hooker Wilson, who's going to throw to this line out. Dunedin will be wanting to pick this line out. They're probably looking for Quentin Holland in the headgear. That would be the place for them to go, I would imagine. Ooh, but they did get it back. They happened to get it back, and now they make the big charge forward. Number 3 that time. Ball comes back on the Dunedin side, and they get a bit of a roll on here. Ball coming back on their side pretty slowly back to Beckett at halfback. He finds Porter. Porter has found a nice touch here. That's a great kick from Porter.
Yeah,
he's got that it's just inside their own 10-metre line. That's good work from him.
Yeah, he's class at Porter. He's been a great grab for the Sharks this year at 10. His goal kick is pretty good, and that's a great clearance when you're on your own dead ball line and you're really under the pump. To be able to knock it 40 down with probably 10 or 12 to go is a really key play for the Sharks.
Replacement hooker Drummond to throw. Oh, just about stolen. Was a wee knock on there from Dunedin.
Yeah,
ball comes back to the first 5 who's back on the field. Immediately makes an impact, taking the ball up to the 10-metre line. Going to ground, picked up, and then they go again through number 17, which is Charlie Mathias. Ball comes back to Big Cleaver. Cleaver bursts through a couple of tackles, goes to ground. Dunedin roll away, ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Our ball nearly knocked on by 17 that time, again, and Charlie Mathias. Then he goes to ground. Seb McDonald all over him. Ball comes back, looking for ball runners. And there's a nice in faster number, and they're away here. He could be through the hole. That's Orlando Vaitupu. Again, showing some really good pace. Cleaver's got it. They go wide. Can they get across here, Kaikorai? Number 18 that time, Makali Bay. Referee says, knock on.
Yeah, unbelievable defence from Quentin Holland coming across there to shuffle that out. Kaikorai had a 3 or 4 on 1, and Dunedin were able to just shimmy across.
Remember the
and
score
really good defence from him and just shut it out. And again, as I say, time's the enemy for Kaikorai, but it's the friend for Dunedin, and they can any time wasting that they can do or rolling down the clock will play in their favour.
20-7, remember 20-7, and we've probably got. I would suggest we've still got probably 8 to 10. It's probably 10 minutes to go, and it's young Toby Beckett to feed this scrum for Dunedin. 6 or 7 metres out from their own line. Yeah,
this is the key moment of the game for me, though, Paul. If the Sharks can get out of this, get down the other end, it'll make life difficult.
That's a good scrum. Again, they're charging it up through Parkinson. He gets driven back in the tackle. Can they release this ball, Dunedin? They're in there looking for it. Back to Porter. And does it not a great job of clearing his own line, but he was under all sorts of pressure. That line-out's going to form a couple of metres inside the Dunedin 22.
Yeah, great pressure from Kaikorai on the kick here. But this is, again, I keep saying it, but this is the vital part. I mean, down here, they simply have to get points.
Alex Drummond to throw to this line out. And where do they go? They go to the middle. Well taken.
Not straight.
Referee says not straight. That's crucial. That's a crucial error. And Dunedin, this will be a Dunedin scrum on their own 22. And this is the time for them to relieve the pressure, Lee.
Yeah, they're making a change here. Young Courts is off and Ficken on.
Always supposed to get a ginger onto the field late in the game.
Yeah, well, he's played well today. Again, his carry's been really good. Scrummaging's been good. Dunedin will need a good scrum here again. Kaikorai have been putting them under a bit of pressure at scrum time, but
as the clock winds down, Dunedin looking to hook this ball and get out into the open field from here. Referee says we'll reset, but this is playing into Dunedin's hand. This time ticks away.
Yeah, just a good scrum and another good clearance here, and then Dunedin can just chip away and chip away.
20-7. Can Dunedin hang on and win yet another Premier Colts title? It's a good scrum from Dunedin. Back to Porter. And again, a pretty average kick from Porter, but again, he was under a bit of pressure. Only gets them outside the 22 by a couple of metres.
Yeah, and Cock will be quite happy with that. They basically get another free shot at it. But that's what happens when you take Henry Scott off, because his base kick from there would have been handy. But let's see what Kaikorai have got now. For me, Paul, they've got to score now. They've got to score off this play.
Drummond to throw to the line out, and they've done well. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Referee's net got his arm out, talked into that by the crowd.
Yes.
And they hit in the midfield through Cruz Wallace, still outside the 22. But this is the big chance for Kaikorai now. They're looking for runners out wide. They found number 22 in Ryan Flowers, but they went backwards there. And now they drag it forward through Orlando. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. And there's another big, strong run from Vai that time. In fact, that might have been Orlando. It might have been Vai the time before. Referee says we'll come back for the penalty. Just outside the 22, they'll go to the corner, Lee.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and put it in the corner and see if they can drive over to cut this gap down to 6. It's number 10, Caleb Hill, who's back, just not long back on the field. Not a great kick from Hill. He didn't. In fact, he lucky to get himself a couple of metres there.
Yeah.
Pretty average kick from there.
Yeah, should have taken more time there, because there's a big difference 15 metres out than there is 5. And they're 15.
It's very untidy line out, but they've come away and got it. Ficken makes the tackle. In go the Kaikorai forwards. They've got the ball. What are they going to do here? Cruz Wallace again, carting it up from second 5. McDonald spreading the troops out. They're hitting out wide to number 17, Charlie Mathias. But now they've gone to the back line. The wee number 10 now tries to spark something. And Hill. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. It's looking for runners. They've found Orlando again. Good run from Orlando. Ball comes back on their side. They hit Vai now, and they go wide again. Have they got it here? Big number 4's got it. Casey Brown, still inside the 22. Good defence from Dunedin so far. And they're still making tackles. That's a big hit on Cleaver. But he gets the offload away. They're still driving forward. Dunedin try and get their hands on that. Don't get it though. Kaikorai come away with it again. Mitchell's burst through. He's only 3 or 4 yards out now, Mitchell. Can they get across here, Kaikorai? One of the Dunedin props is down on the floor. They come back, they go wide to Cleaver. Still going, Cleaver. He's only a yard short. Can they get over? No, they can't. Knock on. What's the referee say?
Well, that's Keystone Cops there. All over the show.
And he's come back for another penalty.
For not releasing the tackle.
Looks like they're going to have to get that big prop off. He's struggling to get on his feet.
Yeah, hang on. Let's just calm down here. 14 is down. 14 is down for Kaik. He's now up. The prop's down for Dunedin. He's got cramp.
They're going to have to get another prop on here.
Yeah. He's just going to have to get up.
Looks like Tarsi Courts is going to get back on.
Key moment, Paul.
Can they score? Can they score here? They're going through. They've gone through the hole. Can they get? No, they're dragged down a yard short. And again, great defence. There's a bit of a hole here, though. Can he get through? Again, he's held up. Yes. Held up. That's great defence.
That's great defence. And also now, what you didn't like in the first half, that Dunedin didn't like with all that, it's now come in the second half and they go to the goal line dropout.
Yeah, I just don't.
It's great, D, but you don't get rewarded, do you? And that's been...
No, it's a ridiculous rule put together by some Muppets. Anyway, but it's going to be a dropout from their own goal line. And can they relieve some pressure here?
Yeah, they'll take the breather here, Dunedin. I'd say there's 5 minutes to go.
Darcy Courts has gone back on. They've Tasman, Soani, Udi, they just can't get him up.
So he's just gone
He's
off.
coming off.
Yeah, that's great defence from Dunedin. Everybody, I mean, Kaikorai throwing everything out at the Sharks, but they just held out.
And now it's Porter. Porter to get this kick away. He needs to kick it as far as he can. As time ticks down, there's probably still 2 or 3 minutes to go in the game. He kicks it down towards the 10-metre line, picked up by number 18, Makali Vai. He charges up towards the 22. Another good tackle from McDonald. Ball comes back. They're going wide. They've got numbers out here. This time they're through the hole. Can they score? And they get the ball out wide to the winger, Mitchell. Well, it might be Flowers, in fact. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. McDonald's got it. They're looking for runners. They're close to the line. Can they get over? They go wide again. Can they get it through the hole? And have they scored? They have! I think it's Cleaver. I think they've scored. They're going back to halfway. And this kick will be pretty much right in front of the post.
Yeah, well, I'd say that we're just about in referee's time, but the thing with that, though, Paul, interestingly, was at last they got some free running ball. They've been hammering away, and then next minute they...
20 to 14, 6-point diff as the clock kicks down.
So 20 to 14, yeah. Sharks definitely not rushing back to halfway. But again, as I say, Paul, that's where those goal kicks from Porter have been. Well, even the one he's missed has probably kept Kaikorai in the game. So 4 minutes.
The word is 4 minutes. It's got a long 4 minutes for the Sharks. They're up 20 points to 14, 6-point lead. Can Kaikorai get up and take this game away from the Sharks?
Yeah, so they've got to score a converted try. So a try is no good. So they'll also be conscious about where they score it, if they score it. And the Sharks will just be trying to keep them
it deep down
pinned.
to the 22 into the hands of the wee first five, who gets a nice wee runner off, and they're trying to break through that hole. Cruz Wallace. They get it out into the back line, but it's Rutledge has got it now. Again, they're going wide. They're getting it out to their big ball runners, and these big ball runners are really starting to make that's the big Orlando. They get it out wide to Flowers.
Great continuity from
Kaikorai storming into it now. They can sniff it. Kaikorai. Orlando again carries. Ball goes to ground. Back to McDonald. And they go wide into the back line. They've gone really wide here, but they're nicely picked up out there by Emil John. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Still 5 or 6 metres outside their own 22. And then there's a knock on. Crucial knock on. Lepionka's got it now for the Sharks. Well, they had numbers out this way, but they've gone back to
Big man
Attenborough. Just got to hold on to the ball. And there's Courts smacking it over the 22, going to ground. They'll be looking for a penalty if they can get one here, Dunedin. Again, they drive up towards the 22. Go to ground. Dunedin in there looking for it. What's the referee say? He's got his arm out for a penalty. That could be it, Lee Piper. Yeah. That could be the penalty that wins the game for the Sharks.
I know Kaikorai yelling at it, but their guy had to roll clear, and he didn't do that. And so that was a pretty obvious penalty for Dunedin. Not only will that roll the clock down, but it's pretty much straight out in front. So this will be the game if Porter can knock this over.
20 to 14. This would give them a 9-point lead with probably a minute and a half to go.
Tops. Yeah, they've done well, Dunedin. They've really absorbed the pressure, and this is good reward if they had knocked this over for what they did last week, which was take the pressure, and when they conceded points, they came straight back into the game, and they've done that here. Kaikorai, I'd have probably tried to get it down the other end, maybe put it into touch, but Porter's just got to take his time here.
Here's Porter. He's got all the time
in
the world.
This is the game here.
He'll use most of the minute. Can he put this between the post and seal this game for the Sharks? And he's nailed it. 23 to 14.
Yeah, so that's going to be very difficult now with time almost up on the clock. I would say there's a couple of minutes to go, so they have to score twice now. Kaikorai.
So back to halfway, 23 to 14 to Dunedin, and there's probably only, I'd say, a minute at best to go in the game. as Holland makes his way off the field. He's had a pretty good performance for them
today. He, along with Parker, has probably been my player of the day, Quinton Holland. Really showed why he's highly thought of.
Caleb Hill puts it high. Who's going to go up and grab? They've got Kaikorai, have got that ball, and now they get it out into the back line. But they get Emil John at the same time. He's all over that. Referee's got his arm out for a penalty to Kaikorai. But they've got it wide. Again, it's Big Orlando. He's made yards all day today since he's come on early in the second half. They get another runner on. Good hit there from the big number 19, Attenborough. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Again, they go forward, but they're still well outside the 22 with time ticking down. They may have stolen that ball. Ficken may have got it. No, it's come back on the Kaikorai side. McDonald picks it up. Then they go forward again. Dunedin defence has been outstanding today. Ball comes back on the Kaikorai side. Again, they get their runners. Again, they get met by a blue wall. Ball comes back. They need to get it out wide here. Couldn't get the ball. He had an unmarked man. Dunedin thought they had it. And referee says come back for the penalty.
All of this is just taking up time, isn't it, for Kaikorai? And that's fine if you're down by 6. Not so good when you're down by 9. Actually need to kick the goal.
He probably does need to kick the goal, but it just depends how much time to go.
Yeah.
Referee's probably told him. No, he's going to have to go to the line out. Obviously, there probably is not enough time to have the penalty.
Yeah, and they know. So I'd say that this is the last play, no matter what. So
this could be it. Remember, it's 23 to 14.
You can tell when you look down
the
at
Sharks.
the Sharkies that
23-14 to the Sharks. And just like to thank our sponsors today, Jeeves Scaffolding, Liquorland, and Ready Lawn, which has brought this commentary and pictures to you. It's the wee hooker to throw to the line out, and Alex Drummond. This could be the last play of the game. 9-point lead to Dunedin. They've gone short to Rutledge. He gets taken to ground. They're still outside the 22. They'll be looking to drive this up, but they really need to score a try quickly here. They've really got to go wide. Number 16, the hooker takes it forward. Referee, they've got a penalty. They thought they won the game, and the referee says penalty, offside.
Yeah, that's been Dunedin's opus Mirandus today, hasn't it? That defence, they like that coast quarters. They're comfortable around the ruck. They're comfortable with the big runners coming at them. That's where it's been good. Dave Conrad laying down the law of the Dunedin
Shark reserves.
Yes. They're excited young men though, Paul. Having been involved in some of these teams, testosterone runs rapidly.
23-14. We've got to be at the last. We're in referee's time. This has got to be the last line out of the day.
So a great day for the Sharks to pick up these 2 Colts finals, but credit to Kaikorai. They've been in it.
Oh, they've knocked that on.
They will.
That's got to be it. It's all over. 23-14. Dunedin have won I think they're possibly sixth consecutive banner, and they are jubilant, but they probably deserve that win. They were slightly the better side today, but Kaikorai were a gallant finalist.
Yeah, it comes down to key moments in the game, and probably the key moment was the try to Jonty Willis. Apart from that, there wasn't a lot in it, but that creation of space, and then probably the defence from Dunedin when they were really under the pump for that 10 or 15 minutes when Kaikorai were down a man. They kept coming, and Dunedin managed to hold them off. And then, to be fair, by the time Kaikorai scored, it was probably a little bit too late. I thought for the Sharks today, I thought Holland was immense in that win for the Sharks, and the front 3 again were good. The big number 8 was good. Henry Scott was good, and then I thought for Kaikorai, I thought the players you'd expect. I thought Cleaver was excellent, Rutledge was good, and then I thought Hill and Hazlitt were really good for them as well. So yeah, tough for Kaikorai. They gave it everything. I think they can be pretty proud of their effort. They came as close as anybody to the Sharks this year, who have been undefeated. In fact, I think they've been undefeated for the last 3 years. So it's a pretty tough ask. But I thought all in all, both games today were champion. But on this day, it's Dunedin's day.
It certainly is. Remember in that first game, the Dunedin Hammerheads won that game by 3 points. And in the game we've just watched here today, 23-14, the Dunedin Mako Sharks over the Kaikorai Demons, 23-14. Just like to thank our sponsors again, Jeeves Scaffolding, Reedy Lawn and Liquorland, and that's it. It's all done and dusted here. We'll go and have a beer now, Lee.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thanks, Paul, and thanks to the boys at Jeeves. Could do with some scaffolding.
wait for seed to germinate? Why not do it the smart way? For instant results, call Ready Lawn today, or for more information, go to readylawn.co.nz.